Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today I'm playing some mono red burn. This is going to be my first historic video post Alchemy release, and what I'm going to do for the next few videos is try out some of the new cards from Alchemy, the online only cards in some historic decks that I've played before or decks that I've kind of messed around with in my own personal time, and see if those cards can actually help out those decks. If you want to jump right into some gameplay, annotation in the top right will take you to that timestamp, also timestamps in the description. You can head on over to the first game. I'm not going to do a separate deck tech video for this video because I think these decks are going to be kind of works in progress, at least the decks over the next 4 or 5 videos that I make. Things are going to happen and change in those decks, so I don't really want to do dedicated deck tech videos to those decks. I'm just going to talk about some of the new cards and then get into some games. So this is a burn deck, pretty typical stuff. We have a whole bunch of burn spells. We have creatures that are really good. You'll notice one omission in the deck, Soulscar Mage. I decided to take Soulscar Mage out of the deck because I think Dragon Rage Channeler is a very good 1-drop. Also, the first ability on the Dragon Rage Channeler is very good. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Surveil 1, that's going to help us kind of sort through our deck and find our lightning bolts from a card that I'll talk about in a minute. And instead of the Soulscar Mages, I put in the Bomat Courier because it works a lot better with the Dragon Rage Channeler. We can sacrifice the Bomat Courier. It goes in the graveyard. It counts as an artifact and a creature to help reach that Delirium from the Dragon Rage Channeler to make it a 3/3 flying creature. Next, the 2 cards from the latest set are Toralf's Disciple and Electrostatic Blast. Both of these cards are pretty sweet. I'm playing 3 copies of Electrostatic Blast. It is an instant speed spell for 2 that says it deals 2 damage to any target. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play one of those cards until the end of turn. This is a really good card to cast out on your opponent's end step. Then on your next turn, you cast something like a Play with Fire, maybe the Bone Crusher Stomp, something like that. We get to see 3 more cards, maybe find a land, maybe find a vital bit of damage. All kinds of stuff come out of this card, and I think it is a pretty cool card overall. And then the real reason to be playing this new deck is Toralf's Disciple, a 3/3 for 3 human warrior with haste, and it says whenever Toralf's Disciple attacks, conjure 4 cards named Lightning Bolt into your deck and then shuffle. So, in my experience playing this card so far, I'm going to be cluttering up my deck quite a bit. Going to be putting 4, 8, maybe even 12 lightning bolts into the deck, and it's going to be great to draw into those lightning bolts, especially if we have something like a Thermal Alchemist on the field or the Dragon Rage Channeler. I think because we are cluttering up the deck so much, I really want to rely on that first ability, the Surveil 1 of the Dragon Rage Channeler, to make sure I can find those lightning bolts or just get rid of cards that aren't working for the current game plan in that situation. Over in the sideboard, typical stuff, Grim Lavamancer to take out small creatures. We have Curse of Shaken Faith, pretty cool against decks that like to cast a lot of things like Arc-like Phoenix, Roiling Vortex, staple in a lot of mono red decks. It just does a lot of stuff, turns off life gain, also more life gain, turn off Rampaging Ferocidon, and then just more removal with the Braid, Chandra, a little bit of value, also removal, all that good stuff. So this is the deck. It's pretty sweet. Going to jump into some games and see how it performs, and hopefully these new cards shine. See you over there. Another opponent with their email as their username. Not sure how I feel about those ones. Definitely going to have that one blocked out, just like I did in that one Brawl video. All right, opening hand. Yeah, that looks okay. Sure. Bomat Courier gets in nice and early. Hopefully it can help turn on this Skewer the Critics at some point. We'll see. Don't really want to see any more lands, though. Not very big fan of that. So it seems like Alchemy has probably been out for nearly a week now, and I guess I want to know, have any of the new Alchemy cards really impressed you, or have they mostly kind of been a little lackluster for you? Let me know down in the comments. Like to know what's working, things like Electrostatic Blast, Toralf's Disciple, Sap Vitality is another one that I'm going to be using in another video later on. Lots and lots of good stuff, I think. Lots of cards that are probably not working out so well, though, as well. Okay, we got a Prosperous Innkeeper. I think that is a fine target for my Electrostatic Blast, and we'll get to see the Blast in action now. So I really like this. It says when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, it's not until the end of step or end of turn or any of that. It just sits there over on the side, and it will be active until we do something else. Let's get in with the skew, with the Bomat, and then probably skewer, see what I find off the top of the deck. Don't really need any more land drops. Do this. I want to keep the Play with Fire in hand, just because they're instant speed spells. Ooh, now I'm going to have to make a choice. So we'll play out a land for sure. I can only cast one of these. Do I want to do 3 more damage, or do I want a Dragon Rage Channeler? I kind of think I want the Dragon Rage Channeler, because that's probably going to result in the most long-term damage. If I can get the Delirium turned on with this card, things will get nutty. In the graveyard currently, instant sorcery, so I need to find a Bomat Courier would be really great. Would automatically turn on the Channeler. So we're definitely against the Bolas' Citadel deck, yeah. Okay. Need to churn out a lot of damage this turn. Bomat or Bone Crusher Giant is pretty good. But I think I'm okay putting it in the graveyard, because if I find a land off the top... Okay, interesting. I'm going to set a stop right there. That's a land. I don't want that land, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with fire on my upkeep. Put that in the graveyard with the Dragon Rage Channeler Surveil. Turn it into a 3/3. Static Discharge is pretty good on the top, so we'll take that. And now, lots of fun stuff happening. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll actually be exiled underneath the Bomat Courier. They only have 4 life, or 3 life, to deal or do something with this Bolas' Citadel, and I can crack the Bomat Courier, get these 4 cards, so probably in a pretty good spot. I can't imagine them being able to do too much. But that's an early Citadel. Good for them.
Great job.
Phyrexian Tower really helps get things going real quickly. Cauldron Familiar, gaining a little bit of life. Perhaps I should have put out the Ramanop Ruins. I'm not too concerned with my life, and that 2 damage may have been relevant at some point in the future. I'm not sure. Okay, they have plenty of mana to play around with. Okay. Super fine doing this. A lot of nice little toys in my hand now. Bird. Down to 1, but they can crack this to go up to 4 life. They do have 3 mana, so it's a thing. Okay. Still 3 mana. 4. Oh no. Okay. Those Prosperous Innkeepers are massive. If they find a good streak of creatures, they can gain a ton of life and really go. Actually, they have 5 mana now. So I'm maybe dead, which is crazy to think, but these Bolas' Citadel combo decks can really put out a lot of damage if they get their engine going. It's just really hard when they're at such a low life total. I have to assume they don't have any creatures in hand, because I think if they did, they would have already played them to the field. Maybe they're just doing a little bit of quick math, figuring out what's going to happen. Oh, and they decide to kill themselves instead. All right. A little bit scary, but I think I have a pretty good sideboard for them, because I can use Rampaging Ferocidon to turn off a lot of their life. Curse of Shaken Faith is insane against them, and I think a Braid is also very good to bring in. What is coming out? As much as it pains me, I think at least 2 Toralf's Disciples are out of the deck. Maybe even all the Toralf's Disciples. I think the sideboard plan is just really good against them. Yeah. Sorry, Toralf. I also think maybe the Thermal Alchemist's not really going to do too much in the long run, and maybe I'll go down. I like the Electrostatic Blast, though, because it helps me find some of these great sideboard cards. Okay, 1 skewer. Okay, rely on the sideboard plan. I think it's going to be pretty good if I can find a couple of these silver bullets, and they won't really be able to find a way around them. If you are tired of life gain strategies, I highly recommend messing around with Rampaging Ferocodon. Rampaging Ferocodon is such an awesome card. Let's see if we find it. Do not, but this hand's pretty good. This is going to help me find something. Light up the stage is always good. Yeah. Gonna have to be a little bit careful with the Electrostatic Blast, I think. Gonna have to dig for a land more than likely. I think turn 2, end step, blast something, and then on my upkeep, or on my turn, Static Discharge, look at 3 cards, try to find the 3rd land. Might be the situation. There's the 3rd land. And I think I'm going to sandbag the Abrade probably for a early Bolas' Citadel. If I can snipe that out, it'll be pretty devastating. And that kind of looks like what they're ramping up toward. Okay. So I got a game plan. It's just a little bit slow for a mono red deck. Still, I think in the end it might work out just fine. Okay. They could have Citadel there, I think, if they had it. So this is a little bit awkward. I think I am going to murder the Woe Strider here. Just get rid of it. But it's a little bit awkward with this Electrostatic Blast now because I don't really want to cast anything on my turn now. I don't know if I want to take the risk. Do I want to take the risk of them hitting the Citadel next turn without holding up the Abrade is the question. Maybe it's okay. So if I hit the Goose, they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So it doesn't matter if I hit the Goose or not. Yeah, whatever. I gotta cast some spells. That's unfortunate. The Curse of Shaken Faith would have been really great. So now is it Play with Fire or Den of the Bugbear? I think it's this. And we'll just reduce their life total ever so slightly. I like the Dragon Rage Channeler. Gonna keep it on top. They put it in untapped, so it makes me think nothing from the opponent. All right. Cool, 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 cool. So in the graveyard, currently sorcery instant again. Not going to do anything too hasty this turn. I really think I need to hold up this Abrade. These food tokens might actually get a little bit annoying at some point. Oh. Okay. Because these food, they just blank all of my skewers. A land on top wouldn't be the worst because then I could light up the stage and maybe try to find a curse. No curse, but I found the Rampaging Ferocodon for next turn, and I can hold up the Abrade. Not bad. Rampaging Ferocodon shutting off all the food tokens is going to be pretty awesome. I think they should probably start cracking them. At least to draw. Yeah. They find another Goose. Lots and lots of Gilded Geese. I wonder if this deck is playing any of the new Alchemy cards. I don't remember seeing any. Ooh. Opponent hits the Meat Hook Massacre. Really good once I get this Rampaging Ferocodon on the field because they'll be able to wipe it away. Look at that. It's the Goose Yahtzee. But if they do murder my Rampaging Ferocidon, they will lose all their geese. Okay. So I wouldn't mind drawing into another one to just have a follow-up turn after I play out, or after they use the Meat Hook Massacre. 3 more in the deck. There's the Citadel. Are they gonna... Can they go for it? Not this turn. Wow, I think that's a big misstep by the opponent. Okay. Yeah. This is looking just fine for me. So, Rampaging Ferocidon onto the field. May as well play out the Den and hold up the Abrade to snipe the Bolas' Citadel. They'll get 1 cast, maybe 2 things off of it, but probably nothing. Get it ready. It's coming. Come on, give me priority. And that's got to feel bad. Maybe they draw into another one. They're digging. They're looking for something. I don't know about playing out the Meat Hook Massacre. They knew I had the Rampaging Ferocidon coming. Okay. Witch's Oven is fine by me. And the Curse is very good. Okay, let's attack in first. I imagine they let it through, yeah. And light up the stage, why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana open. I can't do everything. I think it's okay to put this... Is it? No, you know what? It's too risky. If they can get rid of my Rampaging Ferocidon, I don't want them having the possibility of Innkeeper still on the field. Maybe they do some crazy stuff. No. And you know what? No. Need to. It's okay to hold it. Not out of this yet. That's for sure, for certain. They have 4 cards in the graveyard. This needs 4 other cards. Okay. Yes, a little bit of extra damage. They get so many draws with the Trail of Crumbs. What a good card. They find more land. They really want to draw cards with these geese. But they have to be careful. I do have the Skewer, I have a Rampaging Ferocidon coming in, and the Den of the Bugbear to turn on next turn. Maybe they're dead now, actually. Oh yeah, wow. Do it the easy way. Okay, pretty awesome first game. Really liking that. Sideboard tech, so important. Keep going. Next one with Burn. It feels good to be playing Burn. It has been a long time since I've had this deck in action. This opening hand looks pretty awesome. Opponent's name is pretty neat. 1, 2, 3. And the Fatal Push. Sure. Hey, look who's back. So I don't know. This might be like an Arcanist graveyard deck. Double Fatal Push for the opponent. Ouch. But if I find a land off the top, it's going to be Toralf's Disciple time. And they can't really do anything about that with 1 black mana. And look at that. 4 lightning bolts into the deck. The conjure into deck will shuffle your deck. So if you do have cards on the top, keep in mind that it will mix everything up. They might have a third Fatal Push. If they do have the third Fatal Push, they will be able to kill the Toralf's Disciple now because of the Field of Ruin disappearing. So 4 more. There are now 8 lightning bolts in the grave or in the deck. Let's go find some, right? No lightning bolts. That's okay. So is this mono black or do they have another plan? It is a mono black deck. Cabal Stronghold tells us that. A little bit unfortunate, but it's okay. Maybe I should have done that on upkeep because then I could have looked for, you know, done the scry and maybe found a land. Do I want this? Probably not. And now I'm kind of thinking I just want to go Bone Crusher. No Stomp, that's okay. And hopefully they don't have like another Languish, Ritual of Soot. Okay. Lightning Bolt. You know what? There's no rush. So I think what it's going to be is end step Lightning Bolt, then Electrostatic Blast, then on my turn Static Discharge, hopefully find another card. That's total of 8 damage already with the draw and the choice from the Electrostatic Blast 3 cards. Maybe I can find enough damage. They find... What did I say about Golos in an old video? My friend said, just find World Tree every single time. Okay. Yes, it's so good. So let's see if I can find another Lightning Bolt. Okay. That's awkward. Okay, it's got to be the Stomp. Wow. 1 damage short. If they can find some life gain, in a bit of trouble. All right, we get there, and we're gonna get there with a historic Lightning Bolt kill. Gotta love that. The double lightning. Can I hold priority? No. Oh, can I? No. Oh, I can. I can. It's so rude to do this, but I want double lightning bolt. Have some fun. You got lightning bolts. You got to cast the lightning bolts. So I think Roiling Vortex is probably going to be okay against the Golos because I imagine they're going to try to do the spin, and it says you may play them this turn without paying their mana cost. The Roiling Vortex says, whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast that spell, Roiling Vortex deals 5 damage to that player. Pretty sure that's going to be a pretty good thing. Do I want to bring in the Abrades? The Abrades could maybe take out some of their ramp. I don't hate that idea, so maybe I'll bring in those. What is coming out of the deck? Maybe some of my creatures... You know what? I think all the Thermal Alchemists, they're not going to sit on the field. They're just going to get pushed. They'll do absolutely nothing. At least the Bomac Courier and maybe the other one drop that I always forget its name. Oh, it's not in my opening hand. Dragon Rage Channeler will maybe, you know, do a little bit more than the Thermal Alchemist, which just hits the field, dies, and that's it. Opening hand looks pretty cool. Languish will suck. I don't want to... Now that I know that they're playing Languishes and Ritual of Soot, I'm going to kind of slow down my attack a little bit. Try not to play more than 2 creatures. Don't want to give them too much value. And this Den of the Bugbear might actually come up pretty big at some point. Okay, so we're definitely keeping. Opponent also keeping. I think I'm going to go Dragon Rage Channeler. I think the Bomac Courier is probably more valuable, and I would prefer that they push the Channeler than the Bomac Courier. They have another push. Another double push for the opponent. They might have it. They're still just going to let me exile a card underneath it before they push. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Do I want to fire off the Play with Fire to get the Scry? I don't want any more. I do want one more land eventually to hit this Den of the Bugbear. This is not, it's not going to kill anything, so I may as well put it on face. If I'm able to crack the Bomat Courier, I don't want many cards in hand, so lots of things to consider. Let's see if they let me get in again. Oh, they have the Field of Ruin for the Den of the Bugbear, so that's never going to happen. Okay. Light up the stage, see what we find. Toralf's Disciple and a Skewer. So I think it's definitely Skewer on the face. And then Toralf's Disciple to charge in next turn. What would be the disaster here? I don't know. Maybe I kind of feel like they're holding on to a board wipe. That's fine. Okay. So they get one of Davriel's conditions. Draw 3 cards. But I think they also get exile 2 cards from your hand. If fewer than 2 cards were exiled this way, each opponent draws cards equal to the difference. Okay. So they get to draw, but now they have to exile cards. That's a pretty good deal. Now, do I care about Davriel? If I hit him with the Bomat Courier, they can't do the other -2 next turn. What a sticky spot. I don't really want to discard a card next turn. You know what? I'm going to kill the Davriel. I have a feeling that next turn they're going to be board wiping. Anyways, maybe with that logic, I should have attacked all at face. I don't know. There's the board wipe. So I like my hand. I'm going to probably keep it. And now the question is, do I want to just go in with the Den of the Bugbear while I can? Get 4 damage. 4 damage on them is all right. Yeah. And then I have still 5 in hand. And if they want to get rid of the Den of the Bugbear, they're going to have to use quite a bit of mana with the Field of Ruin. Simulacrum, sure. So next turn now it's looking like Bone Crusher Giant killed this Simulacrum. Go in with the Bomat and the Gobbo. Yep, seems fine. And I can cast out the... Do I want to cast out the Bone Crusher Giant? No, you know what? I don't. I know what my new plan is. Bone Crusher, Bomat Courier after doing the Static Discharge. Empty hand, I can crack the Bomat Courier if they try to kill it. They are getting very close to Ugin. Although Ugin's not really that threatening. If they cast that out with the Den of the Bugbear in my land base, yeah, big trouble. And they're down to 3 now. 3 is that magic number. There are lightning bolts in the deck because I did have a Toralf's Disciple attack. Should be good. Nice. Okay. This deck is just flying. Do that. We'll save the Bomat, not save, but save the cards underneath the Bomat Courier. Grab the Static Discharge, and they know what's coming. Awesome. 2-0 with Burn. Climbing up, finally. I haven't played a whole lot of ranked since season reset, obviously. I'm going to do one more. Last one with Burn. And we're up against Johnny Appleseed. Very familiar name. Well, I have been very fortunate with my hand so far. This is the first time to really see a nightmare. Okay, 3 creatures. I suppose I get rid of a mountain. Lead off with the Bo3 Courier. This might be the first time I've gotten to do something with the Thermal Alchemist. That's one of the cards I think that is in the deck that could probably be changed. There are a lot of creatures in the deck, and I'm not 100% sure how much value I'm actually getting out of these Alchemists. One of the areas that I'm going to reevaluate after I figure out whether or not I actually like the Toralf's Disciple or not. Okay, a Fiery Prophecy from the opponent. Sure. Well, you know I'm going to be putting that out. 4 damage, and I love that the Disciple has haste. Well, it would probably be unplayable if it didn't have haste, though. That sucks. That really sucks. I think I'm just going to go all in, though. Empty the hand. I have 1 mana open. If they try to kill the Bo3 Courier again, I can at least get that 1 card. If I find some lands, I can go down to the Bugbear. So there are options. Hard evidence. Oh, I know. Okay. I see what we're doing here, opponent. Not cool. Not cool at all. A little bit of an unfortunate bug. Lots of bugs since the update. I've been posting them to the Discord. If you didn't know, there is a Discord channel. Link is in the description if you want to come over, join. Some pretty good conversations going on here and there, but it is still a very tiny Discord at the moment. But yeah, come by, say hi, talk about things. Come see some cool screenshots of weird bugs that I've been encountering. Now, do I want to turn on the Den of the Bugbear, or do I just want to attack in with the Bo3 Courier? I think I'm just attacking. If I need to, I can always crack the Ramunap Ruins, do a little bit of damage. Okay, 0/3 crabs are pretty nasty. Oh no. Okay, so we're getting comboed. Here comes the double Sarah's Emissary. Yeah, and they're wise enough to do it on the clues. There is probably nothing I can do from this position. Oh, they go with the... Okay, they're not doing the Sarah's Emissaries at least, so they have infinite 1/1s here. Because they draw a card, they discard the card. This makes a 1/1 thing, and then it just repeats like that. So, heart for the opponent, and concede. So, if I'm remembering correctly from my past experiences, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until an artifact or a creature card is revealed, then exiles that card. Those players put the exiled cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle. They put them onto the battlefield. So that means that my Roiling Vortex doesn't do anything, I think, because it's not a cast. Womp. What do I have to bring in to stop this? I think 3 damage is really important to kill the crabs, and also maybe this can destroy the clue tokens when they go to creativity. Bring those in. I think the Thermal Alchemists are probably too slow. This is continual damage. Still, if they combo, no. And then this doesn't really do anything either. Yeah, I have a pretty bad sideboard game against this combo deck, which it's red. I don't think red really does particularly well against combo decks, right? I'm red, and red decks don't do well against combo decks is what I meant. This hand looks okay. Hopefully they don't have quick removal for the Bo3 Courier, so then I can get off a light up the stage next turn, and then maybe start refilling my hand with these Bo3 Couriers. Ouch. Rude. Very, very rude. I think I'm still going to light up the stage. This could really backfire on me. Kind of backfires on me. Still, I get a Toralf's Disciple down. It might get swept away with the timely Sweltering Sun again, but we'll see. It's just kind of the reality that I have to play into. That's definitely what's happening. So, I get my 4 damage, I think, and then these will be gone. Oh, okay. They have the Fiery Prophecy. Fire Prophecy. Fiery Temper, Fire Prophecy. All the cards' names start to run together at some point in my head, and it just all comes out as a big mess. So, not really sure. Definitely haven't done nearly enough damage to the opponent to be happy with my position. I think I'm okay doing this into a skewer. Okay. Yeah, I'll put that on top. It's fine. Still get the skewer. What does that mean? No. Okie doke. So I assume I'm dead next turn. That's just the way it is. Well, found the lands. Still a possibility they don't have the combo right now. I can discharge and maybe I find like a Skewer the Critics or something off the top. But I think it's very unlikely that they don't have the combo. Okay, that's just the reality of Historic. What can you do? Anyways, it was a fast one. That's all that matters. Going to go to a quick wrap up. All right, so this burn deck is pretty awesome. I always love my time with red. It's not a tier 1 deck, but it is pretty close. It is certainly competitive, and if you enjoy the archetype, I highly recommend trying out burn. It's always fun whenever I play it, especially mono red burn. The two new cards I think are pretty good, especially Electrostatic Blast. I'm more impressed with Blast than I am with the Disciple. I think the Blast gives us a ton of extra value in very fair matchups. It does a lot to help you grind out to a win. The Toralf's Disciple, I'm still a little bit undecided on this card. I think it is pretty good. The fact that it does have haste is great. Comes down, often gets in for 3 or at least trades. And then if you can draw a Lightning Bolt, and especially if you can end the game with a Lightning Bolt, it's going to be a great feeling. Who doesn't love playing Lightning Bolts? It's always good. The only change in the deck that I might consider making at some point is the Thermal Alchemist. But you know what? There are a lot of spells in the deck. We have the 4 Play with Fire, Static Discharge, the Bone Crusher Giant, technically a spell with the Stomp, and then we have the 8 Spectacle cards. That is 20 cards, or 23 cards, sorry, of spell casting that we can get triggers with the Thermal Alchemist, and then the Toralf's Disciple is also going to be putting lightning bolts into the deck. So there are plenty of ways of triggering the Alchemist, but unfortunately in the 3 games that I played, didn't really get to see it do too much, didn't draw it. That's the reason. I think it's okay in the deck still, but you might, want to put in something else. There are lots of good 2 CMC spells or creatures that could fill this slot a little bit more effectively, or just put in Soulscar Mage because maybe you want 12 1-drops. Anyways, I think the deck is pretty sweet overall. I'm really happy with it, and I am happy with these new cards. Going to keep trying them out, trying them in other types of burn decks, maybe Gruul Burn in the near future. We'll see. Anyways, take care for now. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.